I'm Calista, and I'm here with,
Jason Spisak.
Jason Spisak, who voices the Joker. So how are you doing?
I am very well. I'm feeling very Joker-y today. I got my Joker-ish outfit on, with respect.
So, the DC Universe has so many amazing characters, and the Batman side of things is very praised for its villains and especially its heroes. So, who would you say is your favorite character in the Batman side of the DC Universe?
I have to go with the Joker. I've wanted to play the Joker. I got to play the Lego Joker several times, and an actual Joker in a serious animated film was something I've always wanted to do because I just love him so much. And so this is, again, a bit silly, but I get to play my favorite character, the Joker.
I completely understand that love, just like when you have a character who's so iconic and it's just, that's a great feeling.
Passionate about it, so yeah, I hope people enjoy it.
Now, do you think there's anything that's like not really spoilery that you can clue us in about this movie?
Well, I think you're going to get to see a lot of different villains, and Hush is a bit of a whodunit, so you don't really know which villain, when they pop up, is the actual perpetrator of the crime and doing all the horrible things and the manipulation. So the Joker's in it. That's not a spoiler. So you're going to get to see a lot of villains, and I won't tell you which one is responsible.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Nice to meet you, Calista.
Nice to meet you too.
Sure.
All right, so I'm here with Justine Copeland, the director of this film. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
So, is this your first Comic-Con?
No, this is not my first Comic-Con. I've been around for a while.
So you've been around these parts.
Yeah, I've been in animation for about a decade, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, the DC lineup of heroes and villains is incredibly massive, and Batman arguably has some of the most iconic characters. So who would you say is your favorite character in the Batman side of the DC world?
Oh, boy. It will probably be... I know everybody loves Batman, but I think he is my favorite. I think the Flash is really cool. I really like the villains. The villains tend to... Because most of the villains are human, they tend to have... Their stories have more depth. And I think you guys are really going to like the character Hush in the movie. He's become like my favorite, so yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good comparison to the Superman villains especially.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, who's your favorite?
Oh, God. I would probably have to say either Harley Quinn in terms of favorite villain or just Catwoman in general, because I don't know, I'm a big fan of the more complex
So you like
characters.
the villains too?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's fair. But also I like complex characters and more morally gray, and I think Catwoman fits that very well.
Yeah, and I think that with this movie you'll get a sense of the gray area with the villains, and you're absolutely right, they do tend to be more complex. It's easier to ground them. I mean, the heroes are gods, so it's like, how do you ground that so that an audience can get a sense of, can find themselves in that character? How do you find yourself in Batman? Answer me. You can't really, so with the villains, it's easier to get on their side, I think.
I totally agree. Yeah. So, thank you.
Absolutely.
I'm here with Geoffrey Arend, who plays the Riddler. How are you doing?
I am very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great as well. So, how's it like being at Comic-Con so far?
It's incredible. It's overwhelming. It's exciting. It's scary. There's just so many people, but everybody's here for that one purpose of loving the source material of Batman, of Star Wars, of all the things that I grew up with that I absolutely love. So it's really exciting. I hope I get to come back.
I totally agree. It's very fun, although it can be kind of loud and crowded.
Totally. This town has been overtaken by nerd geek culture, and it's like a dream and also a nightmare. So
yeah. So do you think you could give us a little bit of like a non-spoilery, obviously?
I can't tell you.
Do you think you could give us like little tidbits, like? Okay.
Well, this story, if you're not familiar with the comic book, it takes Batman to a new, emotional place. Hush destroys him, or tries to destroy him by incorporating all of his villains to come after him, and then at the same time he has this romance with Catwoman that's maybe going to work out, probably not, we don't know, because they're both crazies. So it's really interesting to see Batman sort of at the end of his rope, Batman sort of questioning his own motives and himself, wondering if he's making the right choices. It's a place that we don't usually get to see Batman be in.
Well, that sounds interesting. So thank you for talking.
Oh, of course. Thanks for having me. It's very nice to meet you.
I'm here with James Tucker, who is the executive producer of this film. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great as well. So how has Comic-Con been so far?
Busy. A lot of work. No, it's been great. I love, Comic-Con's great. It's like my peeps. It's like
I feel ya.
old home week, So, yeah, it's great.
Now, DC has a very, very long, extensive history of characters, but the Batman side of DC has arguably the most well-known and fleshed-out characters. So, who would you say is your favorite Batman character?
Oh, wow. Which one? Okay. I'm going to say it right now, it's Damian. I'll just say I love Damian. I think to me, he's a great addition to Batman's world. He turns the table upside down. It was getting a little complacent, and I liked, he kind of really enlivened everyone's relationship. He was like dynamite in a coal shaft or something. I don't know, that's a bad analogy. But anyway, I think he really enlivened all the other relationships there. He's a jerk, but he's kind of imagine Batman when Bruce Wayne lost his parents, if someone else had found him in the alley, if someone else had raised him instead of, they say Alfred in some worlds, but if he had been raised by assassins, if he had had a bad influence, that's pretty much who Damian is, and his whole trajectory is learning through Batman and Batman's extended family how to be a decent person, how to choose the right path. And so I hope we've shown a gradual progression with that character. He's not in this much, but he's my favorite recent Batman character.
Well, that's a take on Damian that I've never seen, so that's interesting.
Okay. You haven't read the comics?
I don't have enough money to get every single comic, but I do know about the characters and everything because I do try to keep up as much as I can.
Stick to the movies. That's okay.
Well, yeah, I like the movies. So.
We don't mind that.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you. It was fun.
I'm here with Sean Maher, who plays Nightwing. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You look great.
Oh, thank you. I'm cosplaying.
I can tell that.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise, this is not my actual hair. So how has Comic-Con been so far?
It's a bit of a circus, It's really, it's crazy. It's wonderful. It's exciting. There's, the energy is like nothing else, and how's it for you?
Well, I'm kind of a Comic-Con regular, and I've started coming and cosplay, and my friends here. It's been really fun.
Good.
Now, is there anything non-spoilery that you can tell us, like a little bit of hints, like maybe what's going on with Nightwing or something?
Yeah, I think that this film, especially Hush, there's a much grittier tone to this, and I think it's just, it's chock full of villains, and it's super dark. There's some emotional elements and psychological elements to it that sort of kind of made it, quite the story.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you. I'm here with Jason O'Mara, the voice of Bruce Wayne, Batman himself. How are you doing?
Nice to meet you, Callie. I'm doing good, thanks.
So, what's it like being able to voice a character as iconic and just amazing as Batman?
Well, Batman is the great character. Batman was around before me, and he'll be around long after me. So we're really just servants to the character. No matter who we are, whether we're playing live action or animated, we're really here to leave the character in the best possible place we can for the next person to pick up the mantle, or the cowl in this case. So honestly, it's a thrill ride for me. It's an honor and a privilege, and I try to do the best job I can when I'm standing in front of the microphone recording this stuff. Watching it in front of 4,250 people at San Diego Comic-Con is a first as a Batman standalone for me. And it is just, I'm just very, very excited and feel very privileged.
And how has Comic-Con been for you so far?
Honestly, I just got here a few hours ago, so just been a bit of a whirlwind of interviews, and I had a sandwich there, which was nice. Now I'm talking to you, so it hasn't quite sunken in yet. You sort of get out of the car and it's like, hurry up, running around, whirlwind. But I think it'll sink in when the lights dim and Ballroom 20 tonight, and that Batman logo comes up. I can't wait. I'm excited.
All right, well, I'm here with Bruce Thomas, the voice of Commissioner Gordon. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great as well.
Excellent.
So what's it been like at Comic-Con so far?
I just got here this morning. It's fun. It's chaotic.
Yeah.
Everybody here is in love with this whole process, like you. And like us, like all of us here. We love to be here. So it's wonderful to meet the fans.
Now, the Batman world has some great characters, arguably some of the greatest in the whole DC lineup of heroes and villains. I mean, there's so many iconic characters, and they're very fleshed out. So, who would you say is your favorite Batman character?
My favorite character in the whole world?
The Batman world.
Well, I've played Batman before, so I have a real soft heart for him. There was a series of 3 years worth of commercials where I was an official Batman, cast by DC Comics and on camera. So he would have to be my favorite, followed by Commissioner Gordon.
So it's the characters you play.
Well, I mean, and I only say that, I don't try not to be facetious about it, but I feel for them only because I put my heart into both of them.
No, that makes sense. Like when you actually get into the mind, I like to write my own characters, and when I get into their mind, it's like these people become like my children.
You're in love with them, yes.
Yeah.
You love them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I completely understand that.
Yeah, great. And as far as watching, I think Two-Face is wonderful to try to figure out. Like he's been thrown quite a curveball in life, and so yeah, that would be a fun one to try to play actually. But he's I want to see more of him. Two-Face would be cool to flesh out, so to speak.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm here with Maury Sterling, who plays Thomas Elliot. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great as well.
Good.
So, is this your first Comic-Con?
It is my first Comic-Con.
Oh, and how's that like?
It's pretty awesome. It's great.
So, who would you say is your favorite character in the Batman world? Because, there's so many DC characters, and the Batman side of things has arguably the most recognizable, so...
I always loved Batman. Big fan of Red Hood, Jason Todd. Joker's hard to beat. Probably those be my top threes. Yeah, but there's so many.
I mean, there's...
like you said.
I mean, there's really no wrong answer here, because there's so...
Harley Quinn, Catwoman, the women are badass too. So,
Oh, yeah. I can agree.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, cool.
Hush, Batman. Hush.